Okay, let's talk about the song Alone Tonight from the album Duke. I think this is one of I think Duke is really where Phil's vocals took off and he became a great singer at this point, which would make sense, right? Because we got Face Value around the same time. So there's obviously some confidence happening in his vocals. I think this song is a great example of Phil's vocals just really coming into its own and soaring. Full disclosure, I love this song. I love it. I look forward to it on the record all the time. I think it's an underrated song from Genesis. I think it's one of their best choruses. It's Mike Rutherford tune. So it might be a little bit of a callback to Follow You, Follow Me, although it isn't as peppy and it isn't as bubbly. This was so interesting. The reason I wanted to do this episode today and focus on this song for this week's song review is because we have a guest coming up in their next video on the weekend. I don't want to give any spoilers, but we talk about, my guest had mentioned how this song was actually the record label's choice for the first single. The band wanted to turn it on again, and the record label thought this would be a good single. This is not a single. It was never a single. We have Turn It On Again, Duchess, and then Misunderstanding. And I think that's a real shame. I think it would have made a great single. I think it has a bit of foreshadowing to the rock ballad love songs that Phil would become known for. Not a very remarkable verse. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Trick of the Tail. It's kind of got that jangly, almost 12-string electric sound to it. But that's what makes the chorus so bombastic, so big and impressive, is that the verses are kind of subdued. And I think that's something special about the song. I don't think it's their best verse melody, but I think it's one of the best chorus melodies on the album. I wonder if that's maybe why they didn't think it would be a good single, or maybe why it wouldn't have done well as a single, is because there's almost some dead pauses in the song. And I wonder if that would just be a little awkward on radio. It's kind of like set back a little bit. So that maybe makes sense as to why it wouldn't have done well as a single. I don't know. You never really know now. I love Phil's voice here, as I mentioned, but the drums and the chorus and the big chorus is kind of giving us a little bit, even though this is a Rutherford tune, it's kind of giving us a little bit of a foreshadow into Phil's music. I think that there's remnants here of No Jacket Required in these big tom fills and in this massive chorus. And so I think it's one of my favorite. I didn't put this on my favorite, like Phil Collins. Did we do a list of Phil Collins era songs in Genesis? I don't know if I've done that list. Regardless, it's one of my favorite in the Phil Collins era. I guess if I were to have one criticism that kind of separates it from being a Genesis song, is that there's no bridge. I think there's two verses, then a big chorus. There's a little bit of a pre-chorus, and there's a little bit of a post-chorus. Then we have another verse, and then the chorus, and then the fade out, I think, right? Am I missing something? I don't think there's a bridge to this song. I think this song could have been a little bit more exciting if they threw in a little instrumental section or a little something that takes you off kilter and then brings you back again for the chorus, because it's a little bit of an old hat, the way that they go in from the second verse to the chorus. By the time they get to the second verse, we've kind of heard that before. And so that could have been an interesting opportunity to change the melody of the verse a little bit, to change things up a little bit, or to maybe throw in a bridge after that chorus and then shift that back into the chorus. Either way, I love this tune. I've got no complaints. Here's an interesting theory. I kind of feel like the album cover reminds me of the lyrics of this song. Is this song connected to the album cover in any way? I don't know, like a lonely guy staring out to the moon at night, feeling alienated and alone? Maybe. So what do you think of this song? How does it rank for you in your overall Genesis songs? How does it rank for you on Duke? How does it rank for you as one of the Phil Collins era Genesis songs? Just let me know what you think about it. I love this tune.